Welcome to this football special on PLZ Soccer, sponsored by Arnold Clark. I'm delighted to say my guest is former Aberdeen and Dunfermline player Darren Young. I was going to list all the other clubs you played for, Darren, but it's only a 25-minute show and I don't want to get through that many. But I can take you back, what, 20-odd years, and suddenly, in fact more than 20 years, you're a youngster signing for Aberdeen.
23 years, 16. Left Glasgow to go up to Aberdeen. Just a year before my brother did it as well. But no, it was great. Great memories and kind of loved it up there.
I mean, I look at the two of you there and again, over the course of your career, you proved to be almost inseparable, but how important was it? I mean, why Aberdeen for both of you?
Somebody asked me that the other day and it was to do with the youth policy at the time. They had a great guys coming through. You had the fact that Ian Jess, you had Stevie Wright, Scott Booth, and then the kind of probably the one our age was Stevie Glass. So we'd been getting up there since we were kind of 10 and 11-year-old, and at the time it was just that way. You went up 3 times a year, stayed up there, they put you up in digs and all the sort of guys together. So it was great times, and again you trained right next to the first team. I think it was the Easter week, you had summer, and then I think it was the October week. You got for a full week and you're training side by side with the kind of first team, and it was brilliant. And it was just kind of from there. There was a couple of other teams we could have signed for both of us, but I think once we kind of decided the way they were going, it was kind of Aberdeen. Sometimes
it's a word from a manager as well. Was there a particular moment that you had with the managers that were saying, look, this is where we're going, you'll get your chance?
Yeah, I mean, the first manager I had was probably Roy Aitken. That was when I went full time. But I mean, we were going up during the weeks. It was Alex Smith, and he was great. Alex was brilliant, and even to this day, he still, if he sees you in the street, he still asks how your mum is and all these sort of things. He's one of these guys, probably a bit like Alex Ferguson. He knows everybody, and he seems to take a keen interest in you. And obviously the same when I've done the coaching side of things now. He's the same. He'd ask questions just before he kind of went away over to Australia there to retire.
Yeah. Did you enjoy Aberdeen as a city and as a club in the early years? Because I know you did pick up an injury that kind of curtailed your development.
Yeah, no, I loved it. Again, it was, you're touching on the wee injury there. I had a knee injury, and it was maybe about a year and a half. But no, I kind of made my debut at 17, and it just kind of went from strength to strength. So a year before you're at school, and then the next season there's a few injuries. You're in the squad for pre-season. You're going away. I think it was Austria we went to. And then when I made my debut, there was 3 or 4 guys who'd been caught out drinking the night before. Obviously me, wee 17-year-old, I hadn't even started drinking yet. I was too busy concentrating on the football. And then ended up getting my debut. I think it was Olympiacos. I remember it was about 4 or 5-0. They counter-attacked for a corner. There was about 6 of them versus 1, and I was charging back trying to chase them. But it was a great experience. But no, that first season was brilliant. You're playing in Europe. You scored my first ever goal as well, was in Europe. I think it was Barrytown. Great experience, and then from there you're in the first team kind of week in, week out. You're then Scotland under 21 call up, and everything just kind of happened in that kind of one season. It was brilliant.
Did you feel overawed, or was it just I'm young, give me the shirt?
Yeah, no, it was you kind of had a wee kind of plan. You kind of in your head, you're saying, right, the first season I'll maybe get into the youth team and maybe break into reserves, and then the next season, and it just kind of went from youth team. We played in the juniors for half a season, called back into the reserves, and then into the first team. But again, I just kind of took it my stride, because every team or every goal or every challenge I've ever had, you're always, right, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and it kind of happened that way, and it went that way.
Tell me about some of the players you were playing with in those early days.
Yeah, I mean, you spoke about Ian Jess, you had Billy Dodds, you had at the back, there's like a big Brian Irvin, Gary Smith, I'm trying to think, there's quite a few. Midfield was Paul Bernard, Stevie Glass.
That's not a bad lineup you've just named there.
Nah, it was good, to be fair. It was big Dunk Shearer as well. Actually, I used to room with Dunk Shearer. Got to some guy, but he had a few stories. But no, he's an experienced guy, and he helped as well. Loads of guys for advice and anything like that would speak away to you, and it was great. It was a right good squad and a right good togetherness. Yeah,
you mentioned there are a few stories to tell. Is there anything that sticks in your mind? Some of those madcap adventures with the players?
No, well, I remember we had a wee night out. We were in Dunblane. I think I stayed at Dunblane Hydro, and it was, I think at the time it was Mike Newell and Dean Windass. They'd come back early, and they'd been in Jim Layton's room, obviously old Mr Happy, went in his room and they let off a fire extinguisher and sprayed them, soaked them, the whole room was away, and they're away. But at the time, we never knew this at the time, we were still out, so me and Derek Stilley were coming back in, and then next minute Stilley goes to open the key, the two are drunk, they get to the door, next minute Jim Layton comes up, grabs me, yeah wee, next one, Mark, what's going on here? Literally with a hand with a throat, lift me up off the ground. Stilley was having to calm him down. Where's your fire extinguisher now? It wasn't until the next morning that they realised what had happened. But no, it was a scary moment. But I got over it and had a good laugh about it later on. Yeah,
was there consistently through Aberdeen? Was there someone that you always thought, I've got to watch my back? He's the joker in the pack. He's the person that can inspire us as well. Probably Dean Windass and guys like that. He was always up to no good. Dino. He was loved by the Dons fans, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, I mean he done well. He scored lots of goals. He's a good player. He was very confident, should we say? But no, there's a few other guys over the years as well. And I think that at the time there was a wee bit of a changeover because there was a lot of maybe older guys coming out. And then with a lot of younger guys coming through, and I mean, our team at the time with the young ones, but within a sort of a season or two of me being in there, you had Russell Anderson, you had David Rowson, you had Chris Clark, my brother, Darren Mackey, Kevin McNaughton, then you had Jamie McAllister had signed for us as well, Ryan Essendon goals, Phil Maguire. That was a right good squad and a right good togetherness. The boys were, again, I was 20. 1.21 I think it was, 21, 22 I think I got made captain, and again I was one of the older ones in the team at the time, which again was, I don't think you don't realise at the time I'd been captain all the way kind of through my boys club and youth team and reserves, and then when you get to the first team you just kind of take it in your stride a wee bit, but at the same time looking back now I probably never really had a clue what it meant. I just took it as I'm running about as this wee guy and just working hard and keeping fit and doing all the right things and playing away. But it was a great responsibility to have and great honour. Yeah,
you mentioned your brother there. How important was it for you to have him there? And was there, I mean, did you get on? Was there a rivalry? Was there a wee competitive edge to you?
No, there wasn't. I wouldn't say that. It was good to have him coming up. I think I'd have coped without him, but at the same time, it was great. That was like 7-8 years there, and then another 4 years at Dunfermline after it. But no, it was great having a family member. Mum and Daddy used to always travel up on the Fridays when the games are at home, stay overnight with us, and then go to the games after it. But it was good because he was kind of through your whole career. And it was boys club, then it was the youth team, then it was the reserves, then it was the first team. I got into Scotland 21s, he then got into Scotland 21, so it was great to have that, and then kind of finishing off and playing in sort of cup finals together as well. It was great for the family to see. Yeah, you mentioned a few of the managers that you've worked under. Of course, one of the most, is the word flamboyant to describe Eb Skovdahl? He was a wee bit erratic. He kind of had his own ideas and his own things, and it was probably more to do with, see the kind of the 4-3-3, the 4-2-3-1 formation. He was trying to implement that away back then, and it just wasn't happening. Honestly, the first season he came in, he was trying it, and just for whatever reason it never stuck. And then we go back, and I remember one of the boys saying, look, spoke to Gardner Spears, and I was saying, like, why don't we just go 4-4-2, and you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that, boys are not really taking it on board. I think it was like 4 or 5 games in, no goals, no points, maybe even longer than that, when we changed. And I remember 4-2 we beat Motherwell that weekend. So what we would do at Skovdahl, he would have 3-4 games and we would play that formation, we're doing all right, we're doing fine, maybe we get a draw, then all of a sudden you go back and you try and put it back in and it'd be like a draw and you get beat. And you're saying again to Gardner, what's going on here? And then again, we changed back to the 4-4-2 and he'd go on a wee run again. And he just, don't get me wrong, even some of his training and some of that as well, it took a wee bit of getting used to, but you go and you work hard and you get on with it. Obviously, there's a few guys who would always kind of moan. There was this one game that you used to always do, and it was just disguised running. It was a full-size pitch, and you'd get the goals, you put them in the 18-yard box, and he'd turn them the opposite way. So you had about 80 yards in the middle, and it was one touch. So one touch in this 80 yards, then once you get in the other side of the goals, the 18-yard box, it was all in. And to this day, it's something I don't do. Exactly.
I was going to say to you, are there any things you take from managers? What were the highlights from Aberdeen?
I think making your debut, and even when you get called up for Scotland, two years playing together. We did get to a couple of cup finals that season. I'd hurt my knee and I was out the kind of full season. I was out for about a year and a half. We got to the two cup finals. That was the one where Robbie famously went in goals and did all right. But it's just great times. Just finishing high up in the league. I think we were maybe third or fourth a couple of times. Obviously now they're second, third, and Derek McInnes has got them doing well. But again, I say back then you had your Rangers and Celtics and your Hearts and your Hibs and everyone kind of throwing silly money about, and the type of players you had there as well. Your Gascoignes, Larsons, Laudrups, all these kind of world class players. So it's slightly changed now, but it was great week in, week out.
Yeah, you mentioned Larson. We'll come to him and how he played a major part in those cup finals.
Yeah.
But again, from Aberdeen, suddenly a name comes in to your playing career as he signs you and your brother Jimmy Calderwood. Decided to get both of you from Aberdeen to Dunfermline.
Yep, nah, I told him I wasn't coming unless he brought my brother. No, I'm kidding. He was interested in both of us. It was when that happened at the time. With Stevie Patterson had became the manager, and things hadn't been going too great. And again, Dunfermline had kind of finished. I mean, we all knew that Dunfermline or Aberdeen are a much bigger club than Dunfermline. That was never in doubt. But the season or two before that, we finished below them, and it wasn't really happening. So we kind of made the decision. There was kind of pay cut situation as well. That was when the Bank of Scotland were starting to. There was a few teams in the administration. It was a kind of a rather large pay cut would have been asked to take, which again I didn't feel it was great. Plus the other side of things, my dad wasn't too great either, so we had a bit of bad news with that as well. So it was like, right, decisions wise, and it kind of probably leaned more on my dad's side of things as well. You're kind of saying, right, he's been told no great news, so we're kind of back down to Glasgow. We both signed 3-year deals, we both had good wages, and again, it's not all about the wages, but at the same time, the way Aberdeen were going at that point in time, Dunfermline were a better team, and I think we kind of proved that the first season when we went to Dunfermline. The players that we had, and we ended up finishing, I think it was fourth Hearts with the last game of the season, and when it went to the split, Hearts just finished ahead of us, so it was Dunfermline's highest ever finish in the league. We got to the Scottish Cup final, we got into Europe, so there was a lot of boxes ticked there in the first season.
Yeah, what was Jimmy Calderwood like?
Oh, he was great. Him and Jimmy Nicholl were brilliant. They just bounced off each other. Training was all high intensity. He's probably a wee bit old school. Just really work hard for him and kind of get your rewards from it. And that's what they did. It was great. Again, it was another good team spirit. A lot of guys you kind of played against at low levels in regards to like Rangers and Celtic, where you played them when you were younger. A lot of boys for Rangers with Barry Nicholson. There was Greg Shields came in. Even Derek Stilley knew him for Aberdeen. Again, just the guys who played through the years, and it was good boys, good bunch. And I think the season and the way we played proved that until the old chap in the door and you're having to take wage cuts and that.
Yes, I was going to mention that to you. I mean, for everybody who thinks footballers got a glamorous life, yeah. I remember that particular period, if only for the fact that, Scottish football slowly but surely, they were really starting to feel not only the bank's pressure on them, because the banks were crumbling, suddenly they were starting to call in markers, and Dunfermline really suffered that. I mean, how painful was that for you guys? Yeah,
it was a hard one to take. You're only sort of 6-7 months into the contract, and obviously it was a kind of take it or else type of scenario. If you're up to a certain amount, it was 10%. You're up to another amount, it was 20%, and then 30%. So it wasn't great, to be honest. But I think the time it was at Dunfermline, you've had the 5 years I was there. You had 4 cup finals, you had Europe twice, and a relegation as well thrown into the mix. But it was great. 2 Scottish Cup finals, a League Cup final. And then there was the Challenge Cup final when we'd been relegated, so it was great to get that far and great to play in them. And it's something you don't really appreciate until you've been there and you've done it, and you're coming up to Hampden, 50,000-60,000, and everyone's the games we done very well in the games, and we were kind of unlucky maybe in both occasions. But
yeah, I mean, for the 60s, everybody looks at Dunfermline as a big club and thinks, oh, Europe was always there for them. They were playing and defeating a lot of big clubs. I mean, slightly different for you guys. Obviously, you're not going to blaze a trail, but did you enjoy the different platform of European football?
Yeah, definitely. It was great to be involved in that. All right, the results weren't great, but at the same time, you know yourself, it's there's no easy games now in Europe, and again these seasons the manager had changed, Jimmy had moved on, we had other guys in, and again it was just a great experience for the fans, for the players, for the whole club itself to go and test yourself on that level.
Tell me about the cup finals, because quite simply, you know, it's already getting to a cup final. Sometimes if you get opposition that you think, oh, we could maybe take them, this could be etching our names in history, but you just seem to come up against Celtic every day of the week.
Yeah, it was the 3 cup finals, the 2 Scottish and the League Cup. It was Celtic, and the very first one, I remember we played Celtic the 2 weeks before or 3 weeks before it, and we'd actually beat them at Parkhead. So you're going into the final thing, tell you what, they had a full team. They had maybe 1 or 2 rested, but they had a full team, and we went in there, so we've got loads of confidence and get into this cup final. I'm sure it was the first one, or it might have been the first.
Was this the one where Skerla scored first?
Yep, Skerla and Derek was trying to claim it. He jumped into a big grab, I think it was, in goals at the time, and fouled him and they got away with it. But we went 1-0 up, and again we done great, and then off the back of that they had a corner come in, and it was, I remember, going up, big Baldy punched it, and nobody ever really pointed it out and made a big deal about it until it was in the papers the next day. It was Brewster's in front, Baldy's second, and then it was big Richie Byrne, and as the 2-0 went up, Baldy's went up, punched the ball, it was out to Sutton. Sutton's took a touch at the edge of the box, rattled it 50 yards up the park. Young Aaron LeBont went to take a touch and made a bit of boob, should we say, and then Larson ran in the goalie, scored, and the rest is history. But from possibly being a penalty, 2-0, and big Baldy sent off, they got the partners 1 each, and then you just for there, Larson done his thing. Yeah.
Is he the best player that you've played against?
Probably the best goal scorer, I would say. I mean, I think for me, playing against Laudrup in Gaza, that was. In Gaza, he didn't look like a big man, but God, he was strong. And then Laudrup as well, people probably never realised how tall he was, but 6 foot odd, and he just glided past you. And there was one time I was buzzing, I actually got a kick in. I'm not a kick at him, but I actually got a kick at a ball on the way by, and he slapped me in the back of the head. But no, I was just playing against these guys week in, week out was brilliant.
Yeah. What were you like as a player in the middle? Were you the type? I mean, everybody talks about Gaza who would talk to people and try and put them off their game. Were you that type, or were you just the silent, get on with the job?
I wouldn't say he puts people off his game. Gaza actually helped. He was really good. We played him a couple of times, and he was like, "Well done, me man." You're like, "Is he talking to me?" He's like, "Keep going, keep demanding the ball, keep getting it." And he was actually talking you through games, telling you what to do. And it's something I never came across, because you're against maybe Neil Lennon and somebody like that, and you're just getting stuck into them. That sort of type.
If I was as good as Gaza, I would talk you through the game as well.
But no, he was great. But no, for me, I was a hard-working player. I was always the fittest player for me. Up and down the park, worked hard, kind of box to box, and 3 or 4 goals. That was your max you were getting out of me. But no, honest, and again, honest as the day is long, and work hard. To be fair, wasn't it? I could play a through pass now and then, or have a strike at goal, but that wasn't probably my main game. The main game was to get it to the better players.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, because you mentioned that as if, you know, it's a slight on something that you should have been doing more. But the best thing about players is sometimes players don't realise what their capabilities are. They try and do things that they're not capable of.
No, that's it. We've got some players, or some of the guys you've sort of been sort of managing, you've coached in that, and these guys are kind of, you see that straight away, the ones that are, you know, their limits, but they're trying to do this, they're trying to do that, and you're saying, right, you know what, get the ball, win the tackle, keep it, play it easy. And then you get the ones that are trying to play the World Cup Willie passes, and you're thinking, like, you've done the hard bit, now just play the easy bit. And again, that's where you're, as a coach and as an ex-player, I'm still hanging in there with the player-manager role, but not quite much playing now. So you're just trying to pass on your experience, your advice to them.
Yeah. You mentioned there about the time when you're playing against Celtic, and they win in the end handsomely, 3-1. Yep. I thought the second time you played them in a cup final, it was much closer. It was 1 goal, and even then, you know, quite a few people in a quiz would fail to remember Doumbé scoring it.
Yeah. It was a toe poke for Doumbé, to be fair. I think the 2 seasons before it, they'd beaten us in the League Cup final as well. It was 2-0, I think it was, and I'd played in the semi, we'd won in the semi, scored the winning penalty, so I was buzzing off of that, and then I broke my metatarsal and ended up missing the final, so you're then going from one height to a massive low. But the cup final you're talking about, it was brilliant. 1-0, well, not brilliant, but it was great getting to the cup final again. But it was about 5 minutes to go. We'd had a couple of half chances, Birchie had a couple of chances, I'm sure, in the game, and it's just 5 minutes to go or something, toe poke for nowhere, and just trickled in. It was like slow motion getting in. So again, another cup final, another game against Celtic, another defeat.
Although in that game, what does it matter to? Does it matter to you? You were man of the match.
Yeah.
So I mean, is there a little bit of pride in that, or do you just think, oh, we lost the game?
Yeah, I mean, there is pride. You can look back on in years and you can say, brilliant, I got man of the match in a cup final. But at the same time, everybody will be the same. If you get the winning medal, that's people don't remember who got man of the match. They remember who won the cup.
Yeah, I picked two teams that obviously you made the biggest amount of appearances in your career. Obviously from Aberdeen to Dunfermline. When you start to, I think you joined Dundee then for a couple of years.
Couple of seasons,
when you start going that way, and you've managed to play well into your late 30s and 40. Does I mean, I'm not saying for a minute suggesting there's a lack of professionalism, but is it difficult to motivate yourself even more?
I don't think so. For me, I did quite a few injuries in my calves and stuff after leaving Dunfermline and going to Dundee. I had massive problems with my calf, and at the time the physio just couldn't get their head around it or kind of get the problem sorted. So I think I played about 15 games in 2 years, and again I was getting myself fit and I was breaking down, getting myself fit and breaking down. Nobody, as a player, nobody kind of wants that. And from there, I managed to hobble on for a wee bit. Went to Morton, and I remember as I was going to sign for Morton, I felt it, and I managed to get the contract signed. So I managed to sort of play through kind of pain for about 6 months, and it was literally that bad. And then after that, it came me about Christmas time or January time, and it was like for a new deal. And I'd went and trained on the Monday, and Moody used to have these big silly runs on a Monday. Like you played the game and you're getting a down on a Monday, and I remember feeling it, and I'm like, oh no, I need to sign this contract, and I had to get through it, and I was running just awkwardly and trying to get through it, and I managed to do it again and get myself at the end of the season, which you're cheating yourself and you're cheating everybody else. And after the Morton debacle, it was I kind of looked to go part time, and it was Paul Hartley. So he'd spoken to us, and I was just honest with him, because I was getting to the point where, do you know what, if I can't get through this, because it was maybe about 3 and a bit years of kind of a pain and just trying to get through it, training every day or easing off and doing your wee bits. As I've seen physios, seen chiropractors, everything, just all sorts of massages and that. Yeah. Thai massage, that never worked either.
You're one of those guys that could offer lessons on how not to spend your money.
Honestly, I was doing everything, Bikram yoga, all these things, just to try and to get back to being able to play. And then again, the physio Niam had helped us at Alloa, and I'd end up having sort of 3 really, really good, enjoyable seasons when I went part time. I'd started the coaching then as well. The first season, again, we had a great squad. We won the league, so you're buzzing, you're the captain. The second season, we finished second. We got through the playoffs, and then the last season, we were just the main aim is to kind of stay in that league, and we did with the last kick of the ball. We were playing Falkirk. We came in. It was Alex Smith that came in. We came in after the game. We get beat. The other team had got a draw or something. They were staying up. We were in the playoffs. Everyone's in the change room gutted. Barry Smith's the manager at the time. He's telling us, like, guys, we're in for Tuesday, we're in for the playoffs, blah, blah, blah. The next minute, Alex Smith came in and shook the boys' hands and says, well done, guys. Unlucky today, well done, though. I was like, what's going on here? And then next minute, we heard this roar. And there was a goal. My brother was playing for Queen of the South at the time, and Queen of the South had scored in the 95th minute or something. So I think it was Cowdenbeath, so they end up beating Cowdenbeath. We'd end up staying up with that extra point, and they end up getting down to the playoffs. So we'd went from blooming Tuesday in training to organising Magaluf for the next Saturday. And it was honestly, that was that quick, just changed like that. It was brilliant.
Alison, I mean, it's great to take you through that entire career. I don't think 24, 25 minutes does it enough justice, but it's been great going through the memories with you. Hopefully, if you are an Aberdeen Dunfermline, or indeed you can recall those great moments in Alloa, you'll have enjoyed spending the time in the company of Darren Young. There are more football specials on the way. You can get onto our YouTube channel and subscribe, and you can see Darren's 25 minutes with me chatting through his career and many more footballers. Hopefully you enjoyed that. From Darren Young and myself, Peter Martin, thanks for watching. Welcome to PLZ Soccer. Why not join the football family and download the PLZ app? You'll get all the latest Scottish football news and up-to-date news on English and world football. There's also a feature here where you can record yourself talking about your favourite team. If we use the video, you could feature on our football show. For all the latest news in Scottish football, download the PLZ Soccer app in the App Store and in Google Play. Come and join the football family on PLZ Soccer.